I am so glad that it's fall. Oh my God. I was really excited for summer, but here in Denver, our summer kicked off. Like May was super snowy and then it poured for a month, which is not something that normally happens in Denver. And then when it became summer, it like went straight to, 100 degrees plus. Dang it, dude. Like I want like a pleasant summer. So now I'm really excited about fall. It's still in the 80s, but I'm excited about fall. Hi everyone. In today's video, I am going to be going over my goals for September. My October goals, I'm going to be doing my quarterly assessment. I've done all of those things. I'm trying a different format this time around because I was getting kind of bored with just doing the looking down while I'm doing it. So we'll see how this goes. Let me know if you like it in the comments. Anyway, I use the Makselife goal setting system. I have been using it specifically for my personal life, although I've incorporated a little bit of work into it. So if you're interested in my work stuff, I didn't film anything about it this time around because it just didn't work out that way. But if you'd like an update on my HB90 progress, let me know in the comments below. We'll talk about the quarterly assessment and how I kind of felt my quarter went, and then we'll go into the specific monthly stuff. So if we go to my quarterly assessment, the way that I do this is that I print. The Makselife comes with the quarterly assessment page at the end of each quarter, but it doesn't give you the questions that they have at the beginning of the planner, the assessment for the compass. And basically what you do is in each of the 8 areas of life, you take up, there's 8 prompts under each one. So 8 times 8, have I completely kicked all multiplication tables out of my mind? 64? Question mark? Prompts. But you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, you add that all up and you divide by 8 for each one, and that gives you a score. When it comes to your quarterly assessments though, it just gives you a spot to give yourself scores. So some people will just pick a number. But for me, I find it more helpful to do the questions again without checking in on the original questions and then comparing. It's still subjective, but at the very least, it's a little bit less just random pull a number out of your ass and more like pull a bunch of numbers out of your ass and then average them. So what you can do if you want those questions is go to the Makselife website, you sign up for their email list. They have a free resource library that includes their compass assessment, and it's pages 4 and 5 in the compass assessment that have the questions, and I just keep that on my computer and print those out every quarter when I do the new one, and then I save all the old ones in my planner so that I have them to reference. Now that I've explained kind of how I do this, let's start with the assessments. I went through and I did them, and overall my scores stayed the same. However, 2 scores went down and 2 scores went up. I'll just go through them quickly. Personal stayed the same, stayed an 8. I'm not even looking to see if there was like a small amount of change. I'm just going with change or no change. Personal stayed the same with an 8. My goal is a 9. I think the reason it stayed the same was because I wasn't trying to push myself this summer. I was just trying to maintain what I was doing. And I'm actually kind of glad that it even stayed at an 8 because there's a few things I feel like I was kind of dropping the ball on. We'll talk more about that when we get to health and wellness. Fun and recreation actually went down to a 7 from an 8, and that surprised me. Mostly because I saw a lot of family this summer and we did a lot of fun stuff. So it made me think that, I assumed that I would at least stay the same, which was an 8, which was my original goal in the first place. I think the reason that it went down, and I was looking at my scores, the reason that it went down is because I scored myself a lot lower on guilting myself for taking time to have fun. And again, that goes back to health and wellness. We'll talk about it more, but I spent a lot of this summer feeling very unwell. It was like once I got past that excitement and high of starting dialysis at the beginning of the year and going from being so utterly miserable to starting to feel better because of the dialysis, it was easy to forget that I'm still in kidney failure and that dialysis is not a cure and it's not like a end-all be-all for making me feel totally better. And I think this summer the high came down. And so I think because I was spending time with family and I wasn't feeling good, that when I was not spending time with family and I needed to take time to rest, I would feel guilty, which then transferred into having fun. That's what I think. And I think that I will be able to get this right back up to an 8 this next quarter with the holidays. So hopefully, fingers crossed. My work and learning stayed at an 8, which was my overall goal for the year. And I'm just going to keep on keeping on. I do have a very busy quarter for work. I'm reopening my shop in just a couple of weeks, October 13th. I signed up for the email list below for all of the news on that. This quarter was the quarter I really reincorporated work back into my personal planner, at least on a weekly basis, and I think that that's going well. I think I did a video recently talking about, at least a plan with me, where I kind of talked about that. I'll link it down below if I remember to. One of the scores that went up was my family and relationships, which makes total sense because I spent a lot of time with family this summer. My mother-in-law came to visit, my father-in-law and his partner came to visit, and my sister-in-law, she's my sister. My sister and brother-in-law came to visit as well. Plus we had some friends in town. It was a lot of fun spending time with them. As a matter of fact, I put that on my quarterly compass for what personal actions contributed most to these results, and it was spending time with family. So I'm feeling good about that. My goal for the year was an 8, and that's where it is right now. So I'm happy with that. I don't anticipate spending a lot of time with family besides my kids in the next quarter because even though it's the holidays, we just don't think we're going to be able to travel. I'm not quite ready to travel. I want to travel, but I'm not quite sure how to feel about it yet. So I don't imagine we're going to be making a trip for Thanksgiving this year. I think that the family and relationships that I will be focusing on this quarter are going to be our family and friends here in the Denver metro. Unless, of course, somebody comes to visit me. That would be great too. Health and wellness stayed the same at a 6, which surprised me. The goal for health and wellness is a 7. I guess for some context, if this is your first video with me, like I mentioned earlier, I am a dialysis patient. I have genetic kidney disease, and I went into kidney failure last year and started home hemodialysis training at the beginning of the year and have been doing it at home since February. I think the biggest issue I'm still running into, besides what I said before about kind of coming off that high and starting to feel crappy, and if you can hear it in my voice, I'm still sick. I have been dealing with some kind of a bug for not COVID, but some other kind of a bug for a week, 2 weeks maybe. And it's just hitting me. I wouldn't say harder, but it's lingering. Everything sucks more and it sucks for longer. If I get sick, it sucks more, sucks for longer. Allergies, sucks more, sucks for longer. My freaking period. Everything sucks more and sucks for longer. That has become the theme of my dialysis lifestyle. So that's part of it. But I think the thing I'm really kind of dogging on myself for this last quarter was really wanting to get more movement, and I didn't really do that as much as I wanted to. So we're going to focus more on that this quarter. Movement. Spiritual and personal growth stayed the same. I made progress, and then I didn't make progress. I did finally go to First UU, really enjoyed it, have not been back because I just have been feeling so crappy. My goal in September, and we'll talk about that, was to go and actually join, but I just wasn't able to make it. So I'm going to continue to try and keep going, but I don't know if going on a regular basis is something I should hold myself to quite yet, unless it's once a month, purely because of how precarious everything is for me health-wise. I just don't know if I have it in me for an extra thing on top of all of the other things. The other thing I'm going to try and hopefully focus on this quarter is journaling and gratitude, or at least getting myself prepared for that, thanks to my therapist. The other category that went down was financial. So the biggest issue here is that we have a lot of things we want to work on when it comes to continuing to pay off debt and budgeting and everything. And again, with everything going on this summer, that just didn't happen. We just didn't get around to it. And I was supposed to work on it this month again. And maybe some of that is because Jess and I are both busy, and I am not feeling good, but I also tend to be a head in the sand kind of person. I am definitely an ostrich when it comes to money. I would rather ignore it and pretend like it isn't there until everything bites me in the ass. It has been a habit of mine in the past, even when I have the money to pay the bills, when I get bills in the mail, to just shove them under a pile and worry about them later, and then later never comes, and then I get a text or something saying you're gonna be late, and it's oh fuck. And it's a very ostrich head in the sand behavior for me with money. And so every weekend we're gonna work on this, and then there's always something that takes precedence. And so got to get that figured out before the end of the year so that we can start the new year on a good, fresh note. So yeah, my goal is an 8, much like my spiritual is an 8. I don't know if I'm going to get there by the end of the year, but I'm going to fucking shoot for it. If I can get the budget done in YNAB and check in with it, I think I'll get up to an 8 purely from like amazement with myself. And then finally, the other one that went up was physical environment. It went from an 8 to a 9. My goal for the year is a 10 because I figure I'm already so up there, and it's feeling really, really good. I mean, there's still shit we gotta do, but like, I'm in a place with my house where I don't feel catastrophic anymore, either about stuff that has to happen with the house or the general cleaning maintenance cycle. I don't feel stressed about those things the way I used to. So that's a good sign. I'm feeling good about it. So we'll see how it goes in quarter 3 or quarter 4, whatever quarter we're on. I don't even know. September goals. Based on everything I've just said, none of this is probably gonna surprise you. Starting with personal, it was to solidify routines. Didn't go as well as I would hope, mostly because, again, I basically got sick at the start of September and have just felt like shit ever since then, and it's just been really difficult for me. I've been okay with maintaining routines in my life if I'm not feeling good, but kind of really implementing them, not so much. The stuff with the Makselife, just taking care of my planner, I have gotten much better at checking in with it every day. Still not doing so hot with my weekly check-ins, which I recognize are a pain in the ass for me to remember to do, but when I do them, I actually feel really good about it. So, you know, just fucking do it, Cindy. I've been taking care of my plants. For the most part, they're surviving, although I do need to give a couple of them a couple of the big ones, a really good soak in my bathtub, I think, just to really give them some, because I just cannot seem to keep up with their water needs, and I think it's just because I need to give them like an initial soak, and then it'll be easy to maintain. I haven't fed them yet, though, and I think that I'll work on that next month because I just haven't had the chance this month. The waking up at 6:30 hasn't really been happening, and that's something I'm going to carry over to next month because I need the time in the morning. I am struggling really hard with getting my kids to, like, I have to get Sunny to the train station for college. I have to get RJ to school. I got to get Layla to daycare. I got to get ready for dialysis. It's a lot of things, and I am constantly like a chicken with my head cut off in the morning, and I fucking hate that. And just I'm usually rolling out of bed around 7:15. Giving me that extra half hour, 45 minutes will make a massive difference. So I just need to start doing it. And I think the time change coming is going to be very helpful for that. Although it still fucks me up. The time changes wreck me on a regular basis. And then bringing the planner around the house, been doing okay with that. I'm not going to carry that one over, but I will be doing a vlog that'll be coming up later this week where you can see the tote that I'm using to kind of bring my planner to dialysis room with me, and etc. For fun and recreation, get back in the rhythm. That was for after our summer of family visiting. I actually crossed some things off here. I crossed off visit the Botanic Gardens and the fall bulb sale. Again, that was because I was sick, so I didn't wind up having the energy to go. We did go to the Mastodon concert. Fucking rad, man. Like metal shows. It's been a long time since I went to a metal show, and that was so much fun. Oh my God. And it was Gojira and Mastodon. It was a lot of fun. I didn't check off Sunday off, but I literally just did that. And then RJ's California trip went great. So the focus didn't really, I mean, yeah, we did get back in the rhythm, but it didn't really reflect in the action items I had, so whatever. For work and learning, prep for quarter 4 and shop launch. I haven't done the monthly or the quarterly reviews yet for HB90. Again, we're not there yet, but I did do the estimated time blocks. I've been keeping up with the weekly check-ins for that one at least, and I didn't even put it in here, but I did do get set for quarter 4. So that's all good to go. I did finish the course I wanted to work on all quarter. And then as for the work stuff, I'm a little behind because I basically lost about a week and a half from being sick. But I'm on track. I gave myself enough time where I should still be good. I'm just gonna be carrying some of it over into the first week or so of October. As for family and relationships, I wanted to work on family routines, and like I already said, we're working on it. It's a work in progress. We're still getting the hang. It still even took until the first week of September before Sunny even had their second class in school starting. But we're getting the hang of balancing a college student, a high school student, 2 working parents, the dog, the cats, all the things to get our life. It's going. It's not there yet, but it's definitely going. I managed to hit all of my dates, including my friend date. So saw a friend, hung out with my kids, hung out with my husband a couple times, called my sisters, RJ's fall break trip. We figured out he's not actually taking one. He's going to be going to California in December, and figured out that I will likely not be traveling for fake Thanksgiving, so we'll be doing something here, potentially Friendsgiving. More on that in a minute. As for health and wellness, this one is the saddest. No, it's not. Most of this page is the saddest. Haven't got on Peloton yet. We're going to talk about that in health and wellness. Same with the walking pad. Didn't get onto that either because I didn't spend a lot of time downstairs because I didn't do a lot of work because I wasn't feeling good. And as for the iron, I am still staying relatively on top of it, but it has taken 85 years for my refill to come through, so I missed last week. And hopefully I'll be able to do it this week if I can get it this week. Fingers crossed. So making movement a habit didn't happen. This goal was pretty much a fail in September. We'll see how October goes. Same with spiritual and personal growth. Like I said, I wasn't feeling good, so I didn't wind up going to the church on either of the days or to the Pathways to Membership class. I'm just going to continue to try and go as often as I can, and we'll see about becoming a member eventually. Financial. Have not finished the budget yet. Again, head in the sand. We talked about this, but I have been staying really good with my no-buy. I'll talk more about that in an upcoming check-in video. As for physical environment, it said wrap up warm weather shit. I wanted to get the storage box built, get the green stock put away, plant bulbs, and get the countertops fixed. Well, I did 2 of those things. Got the green stock put away and got the storage box put together for like cushions. It's like an outdoor storage box. Did not plant bulbs because I didn't go to the bulb sale, but I did pick some up from my favorite nursery. However, I did some reading because I've never actually planted bulbs before. And here, I need to plant them when the weather gets between 40 and 50 on a regular basis at night. And that looks like it's coming most likely in a couple of weeks. We're still in the 50s at night. But you want to make sure you get it like at the right time so they don't overheat and they don't freeze. So hopefully sometime in October. Definitely sometime in October. And then the other one was get the countertop fixed. I just haven't had the chance to schedule that yet, so we're going to schedule that in October. We have the bids. I just got to get the guy. Anyway, those are my September goals. I mean, I survived. Am I feeling great about it? No. But I'm not hating on myself for it because fucking whatever, man. I'm sick. I got to deal with it. Let's talk about October, my October goals now. A lot of this is going to be obvious based on the things I just talked about, starting with personal. I want to keep working on routines. So I've got my Makselife weekly, daily, monthly, and then checking my plants and waking up at 6:30 a.m. Basically a repeat, just taking out the feed the plants, which I should have put in here, but I will later, and the planner tote thing because I don't need to put that on here again. If I'm checking in with it daily, I'm pretty much doing okay with it. For fun and recreation, my focus is going to be to enjoy fall because I fucking want to. And October is like the sweet spot because November, it starts to get colder, and then December, it can either still feel like fall here or it can start being like below 0 like last year. So October is my main fall moment. So aside from my 2 usual things, which are take 2 days off a week and take Sunday off once a month, it's going to the Pumpkin Festival in a couple weeks. I've already got tickets for that with me and the kids, and then go see leaves. Apparently there's some great aspen viewing, like if you drive up to the mountains. And so Jess and I, we want to take Layla, maybe the kids, go see some leaves. He wanted to go for an overnight, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time for an overnight. So I was like, let's just do a day trip. For work and learning, the focus is to open my shop, reopen it. I've got the HB90 regular stuff, monthly, weekly, and then I've got getting the listings prepped, which is the thing I wanted to be done with by now, but got pushed off, and then get the emails ready to go for the reopening, and then actually get it open. For family and relationships, we just want to plan for the holidays, at least for Thanksgiving. I've got my usual dates on here, a date with Sunny, a date with RJ, 2 dates with Jesse, a date with a friend, and then for planning for and then calling my sisters. And then for the holidays themselves, we're actually talking about having some friends over for Friendsgiving. So we want to pick a date, figure out who we want to invite, and then get the invites out now because people's schedules book up during the holidays. Health and wellness, my focus. Exercise, you butt nugget. I was going to say you asshole, but then I was like, no, let's do butt nugget because that's funny. And so that's less like being a bitch to myself. I want to do the Peloton twice weekly. I'm going to fucking just go for it. And I'm going to plan it in advance. So pick the days, probably the days I don't do dialysis. I have found those are the days my energy is a little more predictable. And then walking pad as often as I can in the office, and then iron once a week. Exercise, you butt nugget. My focus for spiritual and personal growth is to just go to First True You once. Pick a day, go to it. Pretty simple. That worked for me this summer. We're gonna make it work for me again. As for financial, much like the butt nugget one, it's actually get on top of the budget and stop fucking, what's not written here is stop sticking your head in the fucking sand, you goddamn ostrich. Finish the budget, do the no buy, and then I put for another habit, daily budget check-ins with YNAB on your phone. It makes it real easy. And what I've noticed, because I've been using it for work, is that if you go into it every day and you take care of your transactions every single day, it's way less overwhelming and you get a real sense of peace of knowing what you've got. And I just need to get to that. It's the getting to that point that I keep sticking my head in the sand. Finally, for physical environment, I've got a few things around the house to take care of. Planting the bulbs, fixing the counters, and there's a light switch that broke. The light switch works, but it's all like crunchy because the top part came off of it. So we either have to change it out or get someone to do it for us. I don't know. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to burn the house down. And I don't know if Jesse has a major stress about doing electrical things, even small ones. So we may ask our contractor to do it if we can't bring ourselves to. But either way, we need to get that fixed. But then I want to just decorate for fall. Get the front patio decorated, get the back patio cleaned up. We did, but our tree is shedding so many fucking acorns that it needs it again. And then get our wreaths and shit. I don't do a lot of decorating for fall. The only real decorating I do for the holidays is for Christmas, but I want to get the wreaths changed out and such. And I got to go find them in my storage downstairs. So that is my goals check-in. If it seems like I'm a little hyper, this is the best I've felt in like 3 weeks. I'm still not feeling great, but I'm feeling better, and the energy is just kind of bursting out of me like a Dr. Pimple Popper moment. I know that's gross. I have a lot of things that didn't happen this last quarter, and I'm feeling fine about it. Am I happy about it? No, I'm not thrilled, but I'm not gonna give myself shit for it, because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go back and like beat myself over the head? No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work for you either. So don't fucking stress yourself out too bad about shit you didn't do. Just keep moving forward. And that's what I'm focusing on. And I'm really excited for it to be fall. Really excited. I'm looking at the forecast and it's staying in the 80s until next week when it's finally going down into the 70s. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. How did your quarter go? Are you like me and reminding yourself not to beat yourself up over it? Did you have a good quarter? Did you have a bland quarter? Let me know. And what's coming up for you? Tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends. Peace.